Dear friends, welcome again to my channel Geotechnical Engineering Consultancy. I wish all of you a very beautiful and happy, lovely, satisfying and healthy new year 2025. Today I am coming after a long time gap. Today's lecture of mine would be on the role of factor of safety in bearing capacity calculations. Although you all might be feeling कि ये बहुत कम important है, but it is very important. Why? I will let you know in my slides of this lecture. Governing factors and criteria for deciding factor of safety in preparation of any subsurface investigation report. Now, every country has their local codes and they define bearing capacity based on the kind of soil rock present at the site. They have stipulated certain allowable soil pressures, safe bearing capacities for their different kind of soils and rocks met in their region. When designing foundations based on years of experience, these arbitrary values are presumptive pressures. These values anyone can adopt for small size projects, but is not usually recommended to be adopted for any major project. Now, the more solid method is bearing capacity based on testing. In this very case, thorough laboratory testing and engineering considerations justify adoption of exact worked out bearing capacity for presumed dimensions of foundations at any site based on the samples collected from beneath the ground during the exploration depth. This takes into consideration the depth of footing, the size of footing, position of water table, probable potential settlements including total and differential settlement as well as angular distortion for arriving at the safe bearing capacity to be adopted at the site. These calculated bearing capacities are more realistic, safe and sound and guarantee long lasting longevity and safety of the proposed structure. These two things I prefer to define before deciding on the factor of safety. Now, what is factor of safety as per National Building Code of India? Factor of safety with respect to bearing capacity is defined as a factor by which the ultimate bearing capacity, net, is reduced to arrive at the value of safe bearing capacity, net, as per clause 2.2.5 of section 2 soils and foundations under part 6 structural design of National Building Code of India. Now, what does National Building Code of India say? As per part 6 structural design section 2 soils and foundations, the clause 7.1.2 of this code, allowable bearing pressure, says that it shall be the least of the following two. Which following two? The safe bearing capacity on the basis of shear strength characteristics of soil and the allowable bearing pressure that the soil can take without exceeding the permissive settlement limit as specified by the governing IS Indian Standard Code. Clause 7.1.2.1 of this code says that is the bearing capacity by calculation is more accurate where the engineering properties of the soil are available, that is cohesion, angle of internal friction, density, etc. and other soil properties are found out. The bearing capacity is calculated from stability considerations of shear. With this code says that the factor of safety of 2.5 should be adopted for finding the safe bearing capacity, but my opinion differs from that. Actually, the factor of safety may vary from 2.5 to 4 and maybe even further up to 5, and it should be decided on a case-to-case basis. The effect of interference of different foundations should also be taken into account while calculating bearing capacity. However, this is not the usual practice adopted. The procedure for determining the ultimate bearing capacity and allowable bearing pressure of shallow foundations based on shear and allowable settlement criteria shall be in accordance with good practices prevailing in the respective countries' codes, their codal provisions. Now, this safety factor in foundation design is the factor which a structural engineer usually builds into for designing of the structure. Buildings and all other structures are designed based on service loads and type of loading which they have to cater to during their lifetime, as well as the strength of the material of which these are to be built, with a certain adequate inbuilt safety factor already included in it for the sake of strength of concrete, etc. Now, soil is very complex. Point to note is that the uncertainties involved in the elements of superstructure are limited in comparison to that in determining the allowable strength of soil. Why? Because soil do vary throughout the region, throughout the district, throughout the country. Now, what does actually the complexity of soil behavior mean and depend on, and varies? It varies because of the lack of control over environmental conditions after construction. After the building of the particular structure has been built, no one knows how the soil will behave. And also it depends on the environmental conditions as well. Incomplete or incorrect subsurface investigation, inability to develop a good foundation model based on analytical analysis, inefficient and less accurate approximate determination of soil properties, as soil is always very complex in itself. Therefore, these complexities, uncertainties, and approximations need to be worked out as accurately as possible and evaluated independently for each site depending on the kind of structure to be built there before deciding on the actual factor of safety to be applied on. Now, therefore, a safety factor which is to be adopted be assigned and applied directly or indirectly at any site should not at all be overly conservative, but should rather consider the following factors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before deciding on the particular value to be adopted at the site. Number 1 is magnitude of damage if a failure occurs, probability of failure, reliability and accuracy of soil rock data, manifestation of changes in soil properties from construction activities and their probable estimation may be later from any other cause, also accuracy of design analysis. Therefore, any geotechnical consultant should look into these following factors and others also as well, which he thinks is directly or indirectly related before deciding on the factor of safety to be applied at that very particular site for bearing capacity calculations. The usual taken factor of safety values are specified in different books differently. The range may vary a little bit, but it usually is as per shear. Earthwork for dam swales, it usually is 1.2 to 1.6. For retaining walls, 1.5 to 2. Sheet piling coffer dams, 1.2 to 1.6. Temporary brazed excavations, 1.20 to 1.50. And for footings, spread mat, raft, isolated strip, it usually is taken as 2.5 to 3, which may further be enhanced to 3.5 or maybe 4 in some cases. Now the factor of safety ranges from 2.5 to 4 in my opinion, but it may vary on case to case basis. Although National Building Code now is suggesting a factor of safety of 2.5 to be taken. Actually, the values, the factor of safety values confidence comes from your experience. The more the experience, the more accurate the value you will be adopting. The confidence in sampling, field in situ test, laboratory testing, analysis and interpretation. Usually we apply a factor of safety for arriving at net safe bearing capacity from shear criteria. But further, where settlement is the final governing criteria, a very important line. And or when settlement governs the allowable bearing capacity, as BC is further reduced, which actually in turn have increased the real factor of safety applied on that very particular structure. It is usual to adopt lower safety factors for transitory loads such as wind and earthquake, but is not an absolute requirement. Geotechnical consultant usually recommend bearing capacity after considering suitable factor of safety, subject to the condition that safe bearing capacity is safe. Net safe bearing capacity is safe from shear as well as settlement criteria as per prevailing codes of the region where they are providing their consultation services. The structure engineer then factors the recommended safe bearing capacity or the loads to design the structure. Further, if something else is required by the structure engineer concerned, he should consult with geotechnical consultant before deciding on the same. The safety factor is based on soil type, whether the soil is cohesive or non-cohesive, reliability of soil parameters, the kind of structure to be built, and experience of geotechnical engineering consultant. Factor of safety For cohesionless soil depends on the density of such soil, effects of failure, etc. Whereas factor of safety to be adopted for cohesive soil depends on the long-term concentration settlement probability of that very particular clay soil. Now, an important point which I want to highlight here is that the factor of safety which I was discussing prior to this slide was for calculating bearing capacity of footing, different kind of foundations, etc. But Indian Standard Code IS 1904-2021 states, as per the clauses 17.1.1 and 17.1.2, that the factor of safety against sliding and against overturning are specified likewise. That is, for the factor of safety against sliding which resists lateral forces, such as in the case of retaining walls, if dead load, live load and earth pressures are considered together with wind load or seismic forces, it shall not at all in any case be less than 1.5. But if dead load, live load and earth pressure is only to be considered without taking into consideration the wind load and seismic forces, it should not at all be less than 1.75. And similar is the case while deciding factor of safety for shallow foundation against overturning. If all these 5 factors are to be inbuilt, it shall not be less than 1.5. If only the first 3, that is the dead load, imposed load and earth pressure without wind load and seismic forces are considered, shall not at all be less than 2. Now, एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी वैल्यूज आप अपने विवेक से डिसाइड करिए. यू डिसाइड ऑन योर ओन बाय योर कॉन्शियस, बट a little bit conservative approach should not at all be rejected or considered unnecessary, because even if it ends up with little larger foundation sizes, the incremental cost of such foundation is negligible. Why? Because the decision taken to increase the footing size is actually an assurance against foundation failure, as foundation remedial measures are very expensive if at all they occur in any structure after the structure has been built upon, when compared to with any superstructure failure that may be localized and easily repairable and less costly. Now at last, a very important point. A geotechnical consultant does not actually know during finalizing the subsurface investigation report that whether the footing under consideration is subjected to eccentric loading and or moment or not. At the same time, if settlement is the governing criteria for suggested recommended bearing capacity, it should also be checked for permissible differential settlement and angular distortion, which in all necessity should necessarily be within the specified permissible limits as per governing respective codes. Factor of safety therefore is very important factor for any bearing capacity calculations in the preparation of subsurface investigation report. And these values beyond these simple foundation types are all very different for deep foundations, machine foundations and tower foundations. Dear friends, looking forward to delivering one more lecture soon. Keep on subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much.